Hey, Carolyn.
Hey, Ben.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Today, my guest is Carolyn Krause.
Hello.
And I'm Father Ben Wells from St. Francis Episcopal Church. Carolyn wanted to come over, and we're going to learn how to make waffles today.
Yes.
Yeah. American waffles.
Yeah.
And actually, we're going to use the recipe that came with my waffle iron. I've used it before, and I think it's a great recipe. And we might mix it up just a little bit. So, the ingredients today, we're going to have, we need 2 eggs that we will separate. We need 1 3/4 cups of milk. Now, we're going to use some milk. That's just the waffle iron telling me that it's up to temp. We're going to use some skim milk and some cream, heavy cream, to make 1 3/4 cup. And then 1 3/4 cup of flour. And the flour, before we use it, Carolyn, we're going to sort of fluff it up a little bit and then use it so the waffle batter is not so heavy. We're going to need some sugar, which I will get in a minute. And then a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil and 4 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt, which we will get in a minute. I don't have that out. So, Carolyn, why don't you take over and I'll tell you what to do. So first of all, let's separate the eggs. So the eggs are together now. And now you just take them apart and they're separated. So I'll separate one for you, and then you can separate the other one, okay?
Okay.
So we're separating the yolk, the yellow part, from the clear part. So you break it like that, and then you let it over the bowl. You sort of go back and forth. See how that fell off? The clear part?
Mm-hmm.
The white. That's the white of the egg. And then that's pretty much separated. And obviously you don't put it back into the white.
Yeah.
So you can try one.
Probably gonna crack. Oh.
Okay. Hold on just a minute. You got it. That's fine. Let that go in there. And we're going to find you an egg separator that I happen to have. If I can put my hands on it. Here it is. So instead of using the shells, we now use the egg separator. So there. Let that sit there for a minute. Separate. You know, obviously, you don't have to. The waffle iron is really ready for some waffles. There. That's good. So, we've got the eggs separated. So, what we need to do is we beat the egg yolks. I'll get you a spoon.
Are we gonna use the whisk?
Well, we'll use the whisk for the big part.
Okay.
Just beat those egg yolks so they're mixed up. Okay, and then you can go ahead and pour it and scrape it all out into the big bowl. Get as much out of it as possible. Yeah, all that yellow. I'm going to set those aside. Very good. I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take the spoon. So then we need to add the milk, 1 3/4 cup of milk. Here's your measuring cup. So what we want to do is do a cup of milk, and we'll do 3/4 cup of cream. Hopefully I have enough cream there. Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't have to be exact. And then fill it up to 1 3/4 with the cream. And if we need If I don't have enough cream, we can add more milk. I just don't like to use skim milk for baking, really. Unless the recipe specifically calls for baking, or for skim milk. Okay, so pour that in. And then add a 1/4 cup of oil with that same measuring cup. Got it? Good. Okay. And then take the whisk and stir it up. And then that's good. Then we'll do the dry ingredients. We'll put the dry ingredients in here. So for the flour, I'm going to give you a fork to sort of stir up this top layer of the flour and fluff it up. Okay, and then just get you a cup of that flour. And then you're going to get a 3/4 cup of that flour. And you're going to let you use this. Scrape off the top. Now you've got cooking experience,
yes,
don't you? Originally we were going to make banana bread, right?
Yes, one of my recipes,
But
but we couldn't find any
Couldn't find any
bananas.
ripened bananas on short note. Right here. Right here. And then add the.
You said 3/4.
So yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, another 3/4 of the.
Use the 4th.
And you might be able to. There's also a half mark here. Then you can use the quarter one. See the half mark inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I generally don't use that because I have a hard time seeing it.
Yeah, you can't really see.
But you can sort of guess at it. That got it? Okay,
That's
good.
close enough.
And then here's the 1/4 cup. Very good. We need the 2 tablespoons of sugar. There's the sugar.
You said 2
Two
tablespoons?
of them. Okay. And then 4, count them, 4 teaspoons of baking powder.
Okay.
4 teaspoons. Do you enjoy cooking?
Yes, I
Do
like
you?
to cook.
Good.
1, 2, 3, 4. Alright.
Okay, and then we need some salt. And then we can mix up our dry ingredients. And how much salt does it take?
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon of salt? Okay, I'll let you do that. There's always a danger when you pour the salt over what you're actually making.
Yeah.
But I think
You won't
you've
find
got a
anything
steady
else,
hand.
yeah.
I think you're fine. Yeah, you're all right.
That's good.
Okay,
Alright.
so you can mix all the dry ingredients up. So let's go over what we've done. We got egg yolks. We got 1 1/3 cup of milk and 1/4 cup of oil in here. We've got 1 3/4 cups of flour, and we used all-purpose flour. And then we added the 4 teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar. So now you're ready to dump the dry ingredients into the liquid. And we want to stir just until the large lumps disappear. And one thing we also wanted to do, you wanted to do, and I concurred, was we wanted to add some vanilla to this,
yes, we did.
right?
Give it some flavor.
So I'm going to add maybe a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay.
And we still have to beat the egg whites. Now, how's your arm? You want to do them the old-fashioned way, or do you want to use an egg mixer?
Do you have a mixer?
I do.
Let's use that.
Have you made meringue before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, this isn't quite making meringue, but you're beating the egg whites until they're stiff. And meringue is just a few steps more. You add sugar to it and vanilla, beat it again until it's stiff, and that's meringue. But we're not going that far with it. So, take your egg whites over there. And one thing that you really must do for stiff egg whites is you don't want any contamination in them. You don't want any egg yolk in them, anything like that, at least until they get stiff. So that's why I was cleaning out this bowl.
We can do it now.
Copper balls are actually good for making meringue and egg whites. A little bit better than stainless steel. So you can dump them in there. And then, now to check to see if your egg whites are stiff, you just see if you can raise it up and there'll be peaks. Not quite. There you go. So then they fold that in gently. Fold into the batter. It's waiting for you. Put the cup of tea on. Or the hot water, I should say. So gently fold that in. So where are you in school now, Carolyn?
Right now I'm at Middle Georgia State University, but next year I'll be transferring to the University of Georgia. So.
What?
Yeah.
We're losing you again?
Yes,
we just
you
got
are.
you back. You were at North Georgia.
Yes, I was.
And now you're at Middle Georgia State here in Macon.
Yes, I am.
And then you're going to Athens?
Mm-hmm. To study horticulture. They have a really good program up there.
So what are you wanting to do with that?
My plan is to own a plant nursery. So,
Oh, good.
yeah.
You're an outdoor type
Yes,
girl?
I am.
Now you worked at a vet's office before too, haven't you?
I did. I started out as pre-vet, but I decided I was more the plant side of biology than
Okay.
animals. So.
Yeah. Good. Now you're not. Are you a vegetarian?
No.
No. Just wondered how that was going. Well, I think that looks really good. So now it's time to take the butter I don't have any spray, and coat the waffle iron. Give it a nice, good coating. And we forgot our aprons.
Oh, yeah, we did.
But we won't tell anybody. And don't forget this part as well. I'm probably putting way too much butter on it, but I don't want it to stick.
The top one needs a little
Where? Over here?
That side.
This one? Okay, how's that?
Perfect. Do you have a ladle?
We will. Let's use. Actually, I do have a ladle. We use this, and you can. I'll let you do the honors of ladling into the waffle iron.
Okay.
And while you're ladling, I'm going to get an apron because this is when the batter's going to expand. Turn the water down.
These are going to be huge.
Nothing wrong with that. The waffle iron has beeped,
Yes.
but I let it go a little bit longer because I like it crisp.
Alright.
But we're going to take a sneak peek.
Okay.
Looking good.
Good.
I like it a little bit browner. What about you?
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Okay. And I'm heating up some maple syrup. And then we're also going to mix some with chocolate chips. I'll get us another spatula here to get them out.
Usually forks work well too.
Oh, okay. Well, let's try the fork. Let's do the fork.
Might not be big enough, but.
Let's see what happens. I've actually never made it with the blueberries. I think they need to go a little bit longer, don't you?
Yeah, it's still a little
They're just not
soft.
brown enough. So, do you see yourself coming back to Macon after you get your degree? Is this what you want to do?
Maybe for a little while, but my plans are probably to move to North Carolina or somewhere a little farther north. So.
Further north, okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's too hot.
Too hot! Well, I hope wherever you go, you will be happy. But I will miss seeing you.
I'll be back to visit a lot. So.
Yes, your parents still live here.
Yes, they do.
Okay, let's see what happens. Hot. They are hot. But they're coming out really nicely. Very nice.
It looks great.
Okay. I'm going to batter some more in. Do you think I need more butter? Maybe.
It
Maybe a
might
little
last
bit.
for 2 or 3.
You think so?
It could.
Oh,
Just
if
do
you
it.
got butter, why not use it? That's my philosophy. So, what classes will you end up taking for horticulture? I know you'll take the basics, like everything, but then what will you do? You'll have to do an advanced biology or botany? Or?
I've already taken the botany, but I'll just start off taking like the plant identification classes and general horticulture, plant information, that kind of stuff, and learning how to manage a greenhouse and a nursery and all that kind of stuff. So.
Great. I was a biology major, and I took field botany.
Okay.
And I absolutely loved that class.
Yeah,
I mean,
botany
I
was
still
one of my
remember some of
favorites.
the plants with square stems all belong to the mint family. if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And I remember the name for American Holly, Ilex opaca.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know, some stuff I remember, most of it I didn't, but I enjoyed the class a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can look out my window here, I have tomatoes growing,
I saw those.
and I have pole beans. I've got the poles there.
I've got
Beans
some
are
of those
up a little.
started too. They haven't come out of the ground yet, but they're
And then I've got some sunflowers planted out there, but they haven't popped up yet.
they'll get pretty big.
Yeah, I had a lot of them last year, and they were really great. So it's beat, but I'm going to let it
go a
leave it.
little
Okay.
longer.
And then I've got, when I was growing up, my grandmother on her back porch had these little melons that they really had a strong perfume, or very sweet, very nice fragrance. You didn't eat them.
Oh, really?
They were just for the color and the odor. And they're called pocket melons. Or what was the other? There's another. Plum grannies.
Okay.
So I found them at an heirloom seed company. And I've planted some. And I think they're coming up.
Okay.
So I'm anxious to see. You know, when you get my age, you start reminiscing about
Yeah.
stuff. And that was one thing I do remember that my grandmother had. In fact, that big blue bowl up there, she had them full of those plum grannies.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. But I enjoy gardening very much.
Me too. I grew up around gardening. My mom and my grandfather both were always avid gardeners, so I grew up gardening with them and helping. So.
And did they put up like freeze and can, and did they can
My
the produce?
grandfather always had a vegetable garden and blueberry bushes, but we would always just eat them fresh.
Eat them fresh.
Yeah.
My mom had what I would consider an industrial sized garden, even though when I was a kid I hated garden work. I could work in the yard all day long, but something about going from the grass into the earth with all those weeds and prickly little vines and stuff I didn't like, but I don't mind it now. But we canned a lot of beans in the fall, and corn. She would freeze corn, canned tomatoes. So, and looking back on that now, it was great. At the time, I thought it was a lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah.
And it was. But she certainly saved on our grocery bill.
Oh yeah, it helps a lot.
Those look really good. I think they're
it
ready,
looks
don't
done.
you? The chocolate chips are all melted. They taste good?
Mhm. Delicious.
Good. So you've made waffles before, from scratch, right?
Not from scratch. We usually use the Krusteaz mix.
Oh, okay.
It's usually really good. But we'll add vanilla to it. But
Okay, let's take a bite here. Very
it's
good.
really good.
I like it. Well, thanks, Carolyn,
Thank
for
you
being
for having
here
me.
today. You're a good friend. Carolyn and I met each other at St. Francis Episcopal Church, and she still comes back and helps from time to time.
I do.
But I appreciate you being at my house today.
Thank you
and
for having me.
I haven't made waffles in a long time, so
Oh, that's a great excuse to.
thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And we say goodbye to all those out there. And if you have any comments or questions, you can always contact me at St. Francis Episcopal Church in Macon, Georgia. Bye-bye.
Bye.